Have you ever wondered why a happy little Pokémon would suddenly start crying tears that shine like the night sky? Deep inside the heart of the Viridian Forest, where the evening breeze smells like sweet pecha berries, a strange mystery was unfolding under the giant oak tree. Pikachu was walking back to his cozy nest when he noticed something that made him stop right in his tracks. There, sitting all alone on the soft green moss, was a tiny, sad Eevee. But she wasn't just crying quiet tears. Her beautiful brown fur was glowing with a mysterious, sad blue light that cast long shadows across the grass. Pikachu had never seen anything like this before, and it made his own little heart feel heavy with worry. Why was this adorable Eevee glowing with such a sorrowful light in the middle of the dark forest? Pikachu stepped forward very quietly, his paws making absolutely no sound on the cushiony ground, because he did not want to scare his fragile friend. The forest around them was slowing down for the night, and the distant, rhythmic chirping of cricketots sounded like a gentle lullaby, but the glowing blue light around Eevee only seemed to grow brighter and colder. Pikachu gently tapped her shoulder with his fluffy paw, offering a warm, comforting smile to show her that she wasn't alone. Eevee looked up, her big, watery eyes shining with that spooky yet beautiful blue radiance. But she was too choked up with sadness to speak a single word. Instead, she slowly raised her tiny paw and pointed straight up at the night sky, revealing a sight that made Pikachu's long ears drop with surprise. But what exactly was waiting for them up there in the dark? And what did it have to do with Eevee's glowing tears? Eevee's tiny paw trembled as she kept pointing toward the dark velvet sky, where a massive problem was hidden right in plain sight. Pikachu looked up, expecting to see the usual sea of twinkling silver lights. But instead his eyes widened as he noticed a giant, empty gap in the center of the cosmos. The famous Star of Wishes, the brightest and most magical star that usually watched over the forest, had gone completely dark, looking like a cold piece of charcoal. In a soft, shaky whisper that sounded like rustling dry leaves, Eevee finally explained that she had made a very special, secret wish upon that star just an hour ago. But the moment the words left her heart, the star suddenly lost all its brilliant energy, and all of that heavy, glowing blue sadness had poured down from the sky, soaking right into Eevee's fur. Pikachu hugged his shivering friend tightly, the warm static of his cheeks helping to chase away the cold blue chill. But a new question began to spin in his mind. What kind of secret wish could possibly be so powerful that it accidentally drained the light from the greatest star in the sky? Determined to bring back the twinkle to both the sky and his best friend's eyes, Pikachu knew they couldn't just sit there under the oak tree all night. Eevee wiped her glowing nose and whispered that the only way to reverse the strange spell was to find the ancient Luminary Berry, a legendary fruit hidden deep within the darkest corner of the Whispering Hollow. This berry was said to hold a spark of the Earth's brightest morning sunlight, which was exactly what the dark star needed to wake up again. Pikachu nodded bravely, pointing his little fist toward the deep forest trail to show Eevee that they were in this together, no matter how dark the path became. But the Whispering Hollow was known for playing tricks on travelers, and Pikachu couldn't help but wonder what kind of goofy obstacles were waiting to test them in the shadows ahead. The two small friends stepped onto the narrow forest path, where the ground felt like a thick, bouncy mattress made of fresh green moss. The night air was perfectly cool, blowing gently through their fur and carrying the relaxing scent of damp earth and sleeping flowers. As they walked deeper into the shadows, a sudden rustling noise in the bushes made them both jump, but out stepped a very sleepy Psyduck, holding a glowing stick and trying his best to look like an expert forest guide. Psyduck waddled ahead with great confidence, but he was so incredibly drowsy that his big eyes kept rolling backward, and his heavy head nodded up and down with every clumsy step. Suddenly, Psyduck caught a glimpse of his own round face in a shiny rainwater puddle on the ground and mistook it for a magical, glowing portal. With a proud little quack, he stepped right into the puddle, lost his balance on a slippery, smooth pebble, and went flying backward with a soft splash, landing perfectly inside a huge, bouncy pile of crunchy autumn leaves. He sat there blinking sleepily, with a massive yellow leaf draped over his head like a silly nightcap, making Eevee let out a soft, bubbly giggle that made her blue coat twinkle with a slightly warmer light. Leaving their silly friend to nap comfortably in his leaf pile, Pikachu and Eevee finally reached the center of the Whispering Hollow, where the legendary Luminary Berry tree stood tall and silent. However, their hearts sank when they saw that the entire tree was completely wrapped in thick, tangled webs of sharp, prickly bramble briars that looked impossible to cross. Eevee let out a sad whimper, thinking they would never reach the cure, but Pikachu gave her a reassuring wink and stepped forward with a clever plan. Instead of using a loud, destructive attack that would shatter the peaceful night, Pikachu gently pressed his red cheeks against the base of the prickly vines and released a soft, glowing spark of pure warmth. The gentle heat radiated through the frozen wood, causing the tight, angry briars to relax, uncurl, and slowly slide away like melting icicles. With a soft plop, the beautiful, golden luminary berry detached from the highest branch and tumbled safely right into Eevee's waiting paws. But even with the bright berry in hand, the dark sky felt impossibly far away, leaving Pikachu to figure out how a tiny mouse and a little fox could ever deliver a berry to a star. With the golden luminary berry glowing warmly in Eevee's paws, they hurried toward the highest hill in the entire forest, where the ground met the edge of the sky. The air grew thinner and cooler up here, and the heavy, sad blue light on Eevee's fur began to pulse even faster, as if the dark star above was pulling the remaining happiness right out of her. They finally reached the absolute peak of the hill, but as Pikachu looked up, his long ears drooped with a heavy sigh of disappointment. Even from the highest point on Earth, the empty black gap where the Star of Wishes sat was still miles and miles away, completely out of reach for two tiny Pokémon. Eevee slumped down against a smooth stone, holding the warm berry close to her chest as large, glowing blue tears began to roll down her cheeks once more. Pikachu knew he had to act fast before his friend was completely consumed by the sky's heavy sadness, and his eyes quickly darted around the hilltop until they landed on a massive, springy mushroom growing near the edge. A brilliant, sparkling idea popped into Pikachu's head, and he gave Eevee a brave, encouraging cheer to make her look up. Pikachu sprinted toward the bouncy mushroom, leaped high into the air, and used his powerful tail to slam down onto the rubbery surface, launching himself high up into the cool night breeze. While floating gracefully in midair, Pikachu didn't use a fierce battle move. Instead, he spun around and released a beautiful, gentle, swift attack. Dozens of glowing, golden stars shot out from his tail, but instead of flying away, they lined up perfectly in the air, creating a glittering, magical staircase that stretched all the way from the hilltop straight into the clouds. Eevee's eyes widened with wonder as she carefully stepped onto the first golden step, finding it as soft and sturdy as a cloud, and she began to run up the sparkling path toward the dark sky. When she reached the very top, she held the bright luminary berry high above her head, and the cold, dark star instantly absorbed the brilliant morning light, bursting into a magnificent, warm golden radiance that lit up the entire world. The heavy, sorrowful blue glow immediately lifted off Eevee's fur like a blanket of mist, returning her coat to its natural, cozy brown, and she floated gently back down into Pikachu's warm, waiting arms. As Eevee snuggled into Pikachu's soft fur, safe and happy at last, the great mystery of her glowing sadness was finally solved. Eevee's fur had been glowing with that heavy blue sorrow because her secret wish upon the star hadn't been for herself at all. She had selflessly wished that every tired child, every lonely trainer, and every sleepy Pokémon in the whole wide world would have the sweetest, most peaceful dreams tonight. The magical star had been so deeply moved by her pure, unselfish heart that it gave her its own celestial light to hold, testing her bravery until the beautiful wish was fully ready to come true. Now, a protective, velvety golden starlight washed over the entire Viridian Forest, making the leaves sparkle like diamonds and casting a warm, sleepy glow over everything. The slow, rhythmic breathing of the forest seemed to whisper a quiet thank you to the two little heroes as they slowly waddled back down the hill, their eyelids growing heavier and heavier with every single step. The pacing of the night slowed down to a gentle, quiet crawl as Pikachu and Eevee finally crawled inside a cozy hollow log, which was lined with the softest, warmest feathers and sweet-smelling dried grass. Outside, the golden stars in the sky pulsed slowly and peacefully, like a calm, steady heartbeat guiding everyone into a deep sleep. Take a deep, slow breath in of the quiet night air and let it out softly, feeling completely safe and warm. Eevee let out a tiny, contented sigh, curling into a little furry ball, while Pikachu wrapped his soft, fluffy tail gently around her like a cozy winter blanket. If you love journeying through the magical forest tonight and want to join Pikachu and his friends on many more cozy adventures, please make sure to click that subscribe button and give this story a big thumbs up. Good night, brave little Pikachu. Good night, sweet, selfless Eevee. And good night to you, little trainer, as you close your eyes and drift into a world of beautiful, starlit dreams.